Welcome back to the channel. I'm Paul Walker from GH Spoilers. It is a crazy, stormy Thursday night here in New York, the exact kind of weather that makes you want to lock the doors, grab a huge cup of coffee, and completely overanalyze soap operas. And let me tell you, the latest updates on General Hospital are absolutely unhinged. We have massive, game-changing news today regarding Jack Brennan, Nina Willow, and the complete exposure of the darkest storyline of the year. Let's just dive right into this absolute madness. Okay, so I've been thinking about this and my brain is just doing backflips right now. I mean, I stayed up until like 3 a.m. just staring at the ceiling, trying to process what went down in that ICU room at General Hospital. Let's talk about Jack Brennan. Basically, the man is a machine. We all knew he was tough, right? He is the WSB field office boss. He has dealt with international terrorists. He has dealt with Carly Spencer, which, let's be honest, is its own kind of extreme terrifying sport, but snapping out of a chemically induced locked-in state just through sheer force of will. Wait, actually, let me back up. Was it sheer force of will, or was the paralytic drug wearing off faster because of his specific metabolism? I think it was mentioned a few episodes ago, or maybe I read it on a forum. I can't remember that Drew's dosage was specifically calibrated for Drew's body weight and chemistry. So maybe Brennan being a different size or having a different physiological makeup metabolized the drug differently. Or maybe not, I don't know. The point is he woke up. Anyway, the point is, wait, what was the point? Oh, right, the scene in the hospital. So Nina is standing there, right? She is hovering over Brennan's bed with this second dose of the paralytic. And you can just see the absolute panic in her eyes. It's weird, like really weird. The whole thing is just weird. Because Nina isn't a cold-blooded assassin. She is a magazine editor who occasionally makes terrible, life-ruining choices. But here she is, playing the nurse of death because Willow, her own daughter, demanded it. Actually, no. First, I should mention that Nina already told Willow she didn't want to do this. She literally said she couldn't put Brennan in Drew's position. But Willow pushed her. Willow gave her the ultimatum. So, Nina is standing there shaking, about to plunge this needle into Brennan's IV line or whatever, and bam. His hand just shoots up and grabs her wrist. I literally screamed out my screen. Not even kidding. I spilled my coffee. Because the sheer terror of that moment, imagine being Nina. You think this guy is basically a vegetable, completely locked in, unable to move a single muscle, and suddenly he has a death grip on your arm. And Brennan doesn't just wake up groggy and confused. He wakes up with a vengeance. He hits the emergency call button immediately. Like, he doesn't even try to whisper threaten her first, which is what usually happens on this show. Usually, the villain or the victim wakes up and they have this long, drawn-out monologue while nobody else is in the room. But then again, that doesn't explain why Brennan skipped the monologue. Oh wait, yes it does. He's a highly trained WSB agent. He knows you secure the perimeter and call for backup first. So he hits that button. And alarms start blaring throughout the ICU. And then Elizabeth Baldwin and Dr. Lucas Jones come rushing in, which, by the way, is a great callback to their dynamic. I think it was episode 12 or 13, somewhere around there, where Lucas and Liz were talking about how suspicious Brennan's stroke was, considering Drew had the exact same stroke in the exact same house just months prior. Probably doesn't matter, but I noticed Liz was already super on edge about the whole thing. She knew something was wrong. So they burst into the room, and what do they see? Nina Reeves, looking like a deer in headlights, holding a syringe full of an illegal paralytic, and Jack Brennan, fully conscious, pointing directly at her. And this is where it gets absolutely insane. Brennan doesn't just say she tried to drug me. He goes full scorched earth. In front of Elizabeth Lucas and whoever else is running down the hall, Brennan loudly and clearly accuses Nina and Willow of kidnapping, false imprisonment, and chemical torture. Chemical torture. That is the exact phrase he used. He lays it all out, how they have been holding Drew Kane captive, drugging him with an illegal paralytic, and keeping him locked in a silent prison inside his own body just to silence him. I mean, not exactly, but kind of. He exposed the entire operation in about 10 seconds flat, and the look on Liz's face, you could see the puzzle pieces snapping together in her head. The identical strokes, the weird behavior, Nina's constant hovering. It all made terrifying, sickening sense. Okay, wait, I need to talk about Joe Fitzpatrick. Because Detective Joe Fitzpatrick just happens to be right there. Or at least he arrives incredibly fast. Is he stationed at the hospital because of the Isaiah Gannon assault? Or is he tailing someone Whatever the reason, Joe walks into this chaotic ICU room, hears a federal WSB agent accusing a local civilian of chemical torture, and he doesn't hesitate. He slaps the cuffs on Nina right then and there. But here's what's bugging me. Joe is so hard to read. Is he a good cop just doing his job, or is he secretly Jen Sidwell's mole inside the PCPD? Because if he's Sidwell's guy arresting Nina, might be a strategic move to get access to Drew. Sidwell explicitly told Willow that Drew had to stay paralyzed or end up dead. So does Joe arresting Nina complicate Sidwell's plan or help it? I keep changing my mind mid-thought on this. Maybe Joe is just a straight shooter and I'm overthinking it. But in Port Charles, nobody is just a straight shooter. Let's pivot to Willow. Oh my god, Willow. I know I just said the opposite earlier this week when I thought she might redeem herself, but hear me out. Willow has officially crossed the Rubicon. She is the most ruthless, cruel criminal in Port Charles right now. Think about it. We watched her go from this sweet, innocent kindergarten teacher who escaped the Dawn of Day cult to someone who is literally chemically torturing a man she claimed to love. It's a staggering character evolution, or devolution, I don't even know what to call it. It's like she absorbed all the worst traits of Nell Benson and Shiloh combined and then amplified them. She didn't just lock Drew in a room, she trapped him inside his own mind. That is a level of psychological cruelty that even Helena Cassadine would applaud. So the news drops, Michael Corinthos finds out, and this is the part that is just dripping with cinematic irony. Michael has been spending all his time meeting with Elaine, the private investigator, trying to set up this petty little cheating trap for Willow and Harrison Chase. He's been obsessing over whether his wife is going to kiss her ex-husband in the park. He thinks that is the big betrayal. He thinks he is the mastermind playing 4D chess with his marriage. And then he gets the call. Or the news breaks. However, he realizes that while he was worried about a stolen kiss, his wife was running a black site torture chamber in a spare bedroom for his uncle. The sheer scale of the betrayal completely shatters Michael. He is utterly shocked, devastated, and probably feeling like the biggest idiot on the planet. His brain probably short-circuited trying to process the words chemical torture. Wait, what was I saying about Michael? Oh, right, the warning. So Michael, in a state of absolute shock, apparently warns Willow. Maybe he's trying to get her side of the story, or maybe he's warning her that the cops are coming because, despite everything, he doesn't want the mother of his children dragged down in handcuffs. Either way, Willow realizes the jig is up. The absolute panic that must have set in. She knows Brennan is awake. She knows Nina is arrested. She knows the secret about Drew is out. So what does she do? She tries to run, which is such a classic soap opera move. Just pack a bag, grab a fake passport, and head for the private jet. All right. But she doesn't even make it that far. She doesn't even get close because the WSB is not the PCPD. You don't just drug a top-tier WSB field boss and get away with it by taking an Uber to the airport. The WSB agents intercept Willow before she can even disappear. And this is huge. The WSB stepping in means this isn't just a local Port Charles jurisdiction issue anymore. This is a federal, international incident. Brennan is their guy. And Drew Kane has ties to the whole Jason mercenary Sidwell mess. So Willow isn't just facing local kidnapping charges. She is facing the wrath of a global intelligence agency. I mean, good luck getting Diane Miller to litigate your way out of a WSB black site, Willow. Actually, no. Let me think about this. Will Diane even represent Willow? Michael is going to be so horrified by the chemical torture of Drew that he might actively work against her. He might hire Diane to make sure Willow never sees the kids again. And what about Drew? We have to talk about Drew. While all this chaos is happening, Brennan waking up, Nina getting cuffed, Willow getting intercepted by the WSB, Drew is still stuck in that house. Or is he... The spoilers from earlier said his medicine was wearing off and he was wiggling a finger. If Willow tried to flee, she obviously didn't have time to give him another dose. So is Drew just lying there, slowly regaining control of his body, listening to the sirens approaching? It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. I keep thinking about the psychological trauma Drew is going to have after this. Being locked inside your own body, unable to speak or move, while the woman you thought you loved stands over you, injecting you with poison. That is nightmare fuel. That is psychological horror movie stuff. And Willow did it without blinking. Well, maybe she blinked a little, but she still did it. She even tried to leverage Brennan's condition to her advantage. She is completely unrecognizable from the woman she used to be. But then again, that doesn't explain why nobody noticed sooner. I mean, Carly is usually so nosy. How did Carly not figure out that Drew was being held hostage right under everyone's noses? Oh, right! Carly was distracted by Valentine and the whole Jocelyn missing situation. Which, by the way, is a whole other tangent. Jocelyn is stuck in the Windermere catacombs with Cassius finding Anna Devaine's old makeshift weapons. There are like 3 different hostage situations happening in Port Charles simultaneously, right now. Drew is a hostage, Jocelyn is a hostage, Jason is a WSB hostage in Jakarta. Is anyone actually free in this town? It's like an escape room that never ends. Everyone is just locked in a basement, a bedroom, or a foreign prison. Anyway, the point is... Wait, what was the point? The point is that Willow's downfall is going to be the television event of the year. Seeing her intercepted by those WSB agents, realizing that all her manipulative, cruel, calculating moves have finally caught up with her. It's poetic justice. But I'm also second-guessing how the fallout will affect Nina. Nina was acting under duress, but she still held the needle. She still stabbed Brennan initially, even if it was an accident meant for Valentin. Will Brennan show her any mercy because she hesitated on the second dose? Probably not. He's not exactly known for his warm and fuzzy forgiveness. He's a spy who just got chemically paralyzed. He's going to want blood. Okay, I know I just said the opposite earlier, but maybe Brennan will use Nina. If he wants to take down Jen Sidwell and Ross Cullum, he might need civilian assets who are desperate to stay out of Pentonville. He could leverage Nina's freedom in exchange for her help. Or maybe not, I don't know. My brain is just spinning with possibilities. I mean, think about the legal ramifications alone. ADA Justine Turner is already busy contemplating prosecuting Curtis Ashford for destroying Isaiah Gannon's surgical career. Now she has to deal with a massive chemical torture case involving the mayor's daughter-in-law. Port Charles needs to hire like 50 more lawyers just to handle the caseload this week. And let's go back to Michael for a second. I just can't get over the hypocrisy of it all. Michael was so ready to destroy Willow over a potential affair with Chase. He hired a private investigator. He was plotting and scheming. And all the while, Willow was basically running a cartel-level torture operation in their orbit. How does Michael ever recover from this? Does he run back to Sasha? Does he isolate himself? He has to look at his children and know that their mother is capable of the most heinous, calculated cruelty imaginable. It completely rewrites the history of their relationship. Every time Willow smiled, every time she played the victim, she was hiding this immense darkness. It makes you wonder if Nell was actually the normal twin and Willow got all the sociopathic genes.